It's the day after Christmas, so if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. And whatever you celebrate, happy holidays to you. So during my morning meditation, something kind of cool showed up. It was kind of strange, um, but I've seen it before and I knew what to do with it. So I want to tell you a little bit about what happened and give you something really cool that I think you'll really enjoy, especially with the new year coming up and New Year's resolutions and wanting cool stuff in your life. So first, a little backstory. We just got back from Vancouver, British Columbia. Jen and I call it our favorite big city, right next to our favorite little city, Bellingham, Washington, right next to our favorite forest, Mount Baker National Forest. And so we've been having a great time. Some interesting stuff happened. Our power went out. And so we had planned on going one day up to Vancouver, and our friend who we stay with couldn't stay with we couldn't stay with him because he was having another friend over. And so we decided, you know what, let's go stay at the Westin. We got married back in 2010, and our honeymoon night, first night we spent at the Westin in Cole Harbour in Vancouver, right next to Stanley Park. Beautiful, beautiful place. And we thought, you know what, let's go spend a night there because it's been a really good year, and it'll be really cool to do. So Jen booked that, but then our power went out here by Mount Baker, and we don't have a generator, so we lost all power. We have a little heater that's a propane heater that at least part of the house could be heated and we could sleep there. But the house was cold and dark, and so Jen and I decided, we thought, you know, let's go for a couple of days. Let's go for 2 days because they said power wasn't going to be on until Christmas Eve. So there we were, going to Vancouver, really nice hotel, beautiful place, and my son Ben loves fast cars. I mean, he just loves fast cars. I've got all sorts of fast cars sitting around here, all sorts of models of cars and everything. And if you've ever been to Vancouver, there's a place in Kitsilano that has more high-end supercars, hypercars, they're called super luxury cars, fast cars, in this giant block area of Vancouver. And so every time we go, we tend to walk around those places, and when they're open, we walk in them. And it used to be that I was just a little like, walking into these places with, you know, cars that cost $500,000, and the guys selling the cars just looking, you know, kind of like very high end, and it used to kind of push a few of my buttons. Kind of funny, huh? And Ben, of course, would just run in and start looking at all the cars and asking all sorts of questions and stuff. And so I found something to shift that in me and for Jen, and I want to tell you a little bit about that because we went in this time around, and it was Christmas Eve, and there was a big bow over a big silk covering over one of these cars. It's called an Aston Martin. And so I didn't have any more of that inner angst over that kind of like walking into these high-end places. And so we started talking to this guy, and I want to tell you a little bit about that. So you know, years ago, we went through some really, really, really tough times. I mean, I had built a successful business in San Diego, a physical therapy practice, integrative medicine, integrative manual therapy, and had 5 people working for me, and we billed insurance, and we also had cash clients, and we were busy, and we made good money and had a beautiful house in an upscale part of San Diego. But as a lot of you might know, I lost pretty much, it just went very not so good. And we ended up coming up to the Mount Baker area out by Bellingham, and getting in a house that was costing us a ton of money to fix up, and we had to sleep outside for a long period of time while we fixed it and burnt through all of our money. And so for a couple of years, we weren't making really any money at all. We were burning a lot of our savings that we had built up to set up our life up here. And, you know, of course, one of the things I wanted was to get a good life with my family, you know, to get a good life with my family and to be able to support them and to do good by them. And but what I really wanted, I think, was to solve this inner stuff, because my stepdad had lost everything, and there was a big bunch of stuff that the family broke up over, a lot of stuff around money and lots of accusations. And so I grew up in a situation where that was kind of the model of life that I saw. And I think there was an internal me that wanted to change this internal stuff. You know, I wanted to thrive and do really well for my family and for us, for me. But I think I really wanted to shift this inner self-hatred sort of thing going on. And so there I was up here in Mount Baker, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. You know, I didn't know how to nobody knew me, and I was doing a new way of doing things with this healing at a distance thing, and hadn't even started the coaching part of it all, and I just didn't know what to do. And so I hired a bunch of coaches, a few different coaches, and they were showing me how to do things, how to make things happen. I mean, I had a paper schedule back then, so you know, all the electronic and internet things to do, and so I was starting to go along like that. But what happened was I started realizing that when I was doing these new things and trying to get my life going and get the money going again, and develop my business and my work with people, I was running into my internal stuff. So I found this way to clear the inner game, the stuff that brings up angst when you're trying to do something big in life. You know, especially if it's around your money or your lifestyle or how to get ahead or your family. So I found this thing, and it's been a big help. So we've been using it for this past year, a little over a year, I think, and it's been really remarkable how it shifts things so that people can find us, and the people that are looking for the help from me and Jen and get the healing and get their lives the way they want them can find us. So we were going along in Vancouver, and we had a great time. And Jen said something this just yesterday. She said, yeah, she just felt this thing of like, I hope our friends don't judge us. So we have friends up here that knew us when we first got here, and everything was crumbling and us sleeping outside, and we have some really good friends. And she said that. She said, man, I just got this feeling like, oh, I hope as we're doing better and better like this, that our friends don't judge us. And I'm like, oh, I said, you better handle that one. You better fix that one. And she knows it, because it's like, you know, if you can imagine, like, if you want something big in life, like a new relationship and a different relationship than the ones you've had in the past, and you know, if maybe old boyfriends or husbands treated you a certain way, and now it's like you want a new life with a new partner, but you don't want to repeat these old patterns, or you know, you had a certain way of living with your finances, and you really want a bigger life for yourself and your family, and a way to make the money that you feel would set that up, you know, whatever that is, or your health, you know, something to get really solve a chronic medical condition, and you really want a life where you can be healthy and do anything you want with your body. So whatever that is, you can think of it. And when you think of it, it could be really cool, but it might also bring up some inner angst. Like if you got it, say for example, the relationship that you really, really wanted, or the money and the lifestyle that you really, really wanted. When you really think about having it and all the people in your life, how would you feel when they saw you with all that and you had solved it? Would there be a little something in there that kind of like Jen had, that was like, ooh, I hope I don't get judged about this, you know? Because if you have a little of that, which is natural, it's normal to have stuff like that, you know, it happens. It could be something that's slowing you down or standing in your way or stopping you from getting that life, right? So what we did was we found a way to clear it. And even so, along the way, these things can show up. So now when we walked into those high-end car places in Vancouver, Jen and I noticed that, wow, we don't feel any of that anymore. We had great conversations with the salespeople, and they opened up about some really cool stories about their past and how they got to sell high-end cars, and we had really good conversations with them, and we didn't in any way feel like we didn't belong in a place with $500,000 cars. And we got to see a really cool new car, the new Aston Martin, Ben got to sit in some really cool cars, and Ben doesn't have those inner blocks. His grandmother last night over Skype or FaceTime or whatever that was, we were telling her what we were up to, and she goes, "Wow, well, is Ben going to be making a lot of money then?" And it's like, yeah, he probably will be, because he really wants these fast cars. But the important thing is that, to clear the inner stuff so that you can be okay with the fast car, you can be okay without a fast car. You can be okay with a beautiful lifestyle or beautiful relationship, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, or in a different way of living. But if there's any internal angst, right, over when you think of what you really want, if there's any internal angst in there, that could be something to really look at. So what we got over this past year was just a really cool way where we're connecting more and more with the people that are looking for us for the deep healing of all sorts of conditions, the chronic conditions, and the lifestyle and abundance things, and even relationships, getting relationships and families healed, and getting new relationships. We've been able to connect with more and more people, and it's been just amazingly cool, and it's helped us have the kind of life that we want, and we're starting to get more and more towards our goals of the things that are good, and we've got a house that works for us now. So that was our transformation, and I'd love to hear what your transformation is, what you would like to have in your life. If you had everything you wanted, or some of the really big, important things that you wanted, what might that be for you as this new year is about to start? And if you're interested in what we're using right now, what Jen and I are using right now to clear this inner stuff, the inner conflict that shows up when you think of having this wonderful life that you want, there's a really powerful way that we found that's quite different than anything we've ever seen before. And we tried so hard to use our minds and mindset and thinking and try to change our beliefs, but there's something way more primary that once you solve that, all those thoughts, beliefs, limiting behaviors just vanish, just go away. And whenever they do show up a little bit, like when Jen had a little bit of that, man, I hope our friends don't judge us feeling, there's a way to recognize it and go right to the heart of what that's really about and change it. Truly let it go. And if you're interested in that, then there'll be links up here at some point or in the description. And you can grab a PDF that I made about this technique, this thing that we're using, really powerful, and a video session that I did with it. And you can have that for free. Just let me know where to send it. And then I'll tell you all about other things that we're using with that just work really great. We're super excited to get this to you. And Jen had a really cool idea that we're going to be doing in this next year to get that to you in even a bigger way. So look for that real soon. I'm not sure if that'll be the first week of January or in the second or third week of January, but something really cool is coming that Jen felt inspired to got it out there to you guys. So, okay, so ralphhavens.com/enlighten up. Go ahead and grab that PDF and the video session, and let me know what your big dream is, what that is, and what kind of angst shows up when you really feel like, if you really had it, what would that feel like for you? All right, ralphhavens.com/enlighten up, and go grab that, share this, and let's get out there and live. Let's get out there and really live. All right, bye now.